Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Chapter 26. If I treat you, it is reasonable to charge some interest, right? On the second day of the college entrance examination, Lu Chengqing was quite lucky, and met many candidates with high rankings in a row. After a friendly exchange with them, the points ushered in a surge again, directly breaking through the 30,000 mark. It can be said, on the points leaderboard, it was the lead like a horse, and the second place was occupied by Lin Qianchen with just over 7,000 points. Further down the ranking, it was basically a cliff-like fall, and even Zhang Wanqing, who scored more than 4,000 points, was able to enter the top 10 ranks. One can imagine how many candidates were beaten yesterday by Lu Chengqing before entering the university. And those ranking candidates whose points were plundered by Lu Chengqing were not eliminated directly, taking advantage of the last time sprint points. In the previous 2 days, those students who were not planning to hit the number 1 pick earned enough admission points for their favorite college. Basically exit the copy. To get points, the only way for those candidates whose points were robbed by Lu Chengqing is hunt the beasts. To some extent, the large decrease in the college entrance examination dungeon Twisted Forest Beast has a lot to do with Lu Chengqing. When the time came to the last day of the college entrance examination, Lu Chengqing did not continue to look for the candidates and have friendly exchanges. Instead, go directly to the passage to leave the copy. The entry of the copy needs to pass through the teleportation array, and the way to leave is relatively simple. Go to the center of the Twisted Forest, where there is a portal to exit, or stay until the direct instance closes. Or, it is to leave through this portal, and teleport back to the school, Trial Valley, etc. where they entered the copy. With the special space of Room Slaughterhouse, Lu Chengqing went to the center of the Twisted Forest extremely fast. After the level is raised to level 17, the professional talent of the healer provides considerable physical recovery. Only using the slaughterhouse ability of the fruit of the operation will not consume a particularly large amount of physical strength, and it doesn't even consume too much. It recovered a little more points, almost enough. Lu Chengqing murmured softly, now he has 31,000 points in his hand, plus those from Lin Qianchen and Zhang Wanqing. There are 42,000 in total. To avoid being the number 1 in the college entrance examination this year and being picked by others, you must accumulate points to 45,000. When Lu Chengqing came to the exit of the dungeon, there were candidates coming one after another around him, and there were even many companions. After all, we are leaving. Each of them got a satisfactory score in the college entrance examination, and they didn't choose to fight at the dungeon portal. Many candidates who were about to leave the dungeon at this time, some of them were lucky enough to be taken care of by Lu Chengqing. When they saw the figure of Lu Chengqing appearing, they all felt conditioned fear, because this guy somewhat inappropriate. It doesn't matter if they are strong, the key is not to mention stealing points, but also bringing them wave healing, which is hard to say. He's a good guy. Not exactly a good guy either. Lu Chengqing didn't care about other people's gazes, walked up to the dungeon and directly lifted a stone and sat down. Come all come. It's not too much to charge tolls, right? After all, it was the last day of the college entrance examination, and it was coming to an end soon, so it would be somewhat inappropriate to snatch all the points away. The admission threshold for those top universities is 1,500 points, and 1,000 points for ordinary first-class universities is enough. Lu Chengqing glanced around, not daring to approach the trembling examinees. He still had a smile on his face, and he had found the reason. When he snatched the points back then, he even healed the examinees. How come the final points have something to do with him, right? Then charge some interest. It's not too much either. He said in a calm tone, of course, I'm not here to rob you this time. I'm here to satisfy students from top universities and first-class vocational colleges. For the extra points, just treat it as my treatment for you at the beginning, and you don't have any objections to the interest you charge. After hearing Lu Chengqing's words, many candidates gathered at the door of the dungeon were completely silent. Isn't that too much? As long as they can pass the admission qualifications of those favorite vocational colleges, the extra points will be of no use to them. Soon, some candidates transferred the extra points to Lu Chengqing, who was already ahead of everyone else. Boost again. And those candidates who have never encountered Lu Chengqing are naturally unwilling to give away their points for no reason. Student Lu, this is the first time we've met, and you haven't been asked to participate in treatment, can we leave now? Quote. After hearing this clever question, Lu Chengqing kept smiling and said, that's simple. I'll beat you up first, and then treat you. Quote. The examinee who asked the question just now had an ugly expression on his face. What's the difference between this and grabbing? But it's better to be able to get out after paying points, than to be beaten up by this inexplicable, anyway, the extra points. It's just good looking. In just a moment, Lu Chengqing's original 31,000 points soared to 35,000. Not far behind, Zhang Wanqing, who was going to the dungeon exit with Lin Qianchen, saw Lu Chengqing's operation. Her cold appearance no longer exists. Instead, Zhang Wanqing twitched a strange expression that she didn't know how to describe. It has to be you. Student Lu. Lin Qianchen looked excited. Especially when I saw Lu Chengqing blocking the door and beating up without giving points, the heavy heart that has been suppressed for 18 years. At this time, some kind of wonderful change happened, completely embarked on the road of the sixth child, and never looked back. You guys are here. Lu Chengqing glanced at Lin Qianchen and Zhang Wanqing who were behind him, and there was a lot more expectation in his eyes. It's all here. Then, finally, it will be possible to make waves. Chapter 27. Lin Qianchen came to Lu Chengqing's side very excitedly, her fair cheeks were slightly flushed with excitement. Yesterday, after receiving Lu Chengqing's order, she didn't even hunt the strange beasts, and searched for Zhang Wanqing with full dungeons. And no result. Fortunately, this morning, I ran into Wanqing by coincidence, and after a brief explanation, I pulled her. Rushed to the exit of the copy, but not long after arriving, Lin Qianchen saw Lu Chengqing's waist-breaking operation. For the next plan, I am more and more confident. Lin Qianchen's face was quite excited, and she quickly asked, Student Lu, what exactly is the plan you mentioned yesterday? Quote. Lu Chengqing still had a smile on his face, glanced at the candidates who were about to leave, and did not directly explain. Instead, they came to the hillside not far from the exit of the copy. He didn't hold back, and said directly, you guys transfer the points to me first, and I will count the total. It is good. Lin Qianchen blinked her eyes, without the slightest hesitation, she decisively transferred all the points to classmate Lu. That feeling of doing something bad. It kept growing in her heart. Not only did she not have the intention to retreat, but she stood beside Lu Chengqing. What kind of plan is it? Zhang Wanqing's face is strange, but she still transfers the points, if there is a chance to become the champion. She definitely won't miss it. And, even if Lu Chengqing wants to grab his own points, there is absolutely no need to do this, the strength is completely sufficient. Quote. Lu Chengqing glanced at his personal points as high as 46,000, even the second to 10th in the rankings added up. Both are only in the early 20,000s. It is not a threat to the next plan at all. He didn't show off, and explained directly, rules. In the college entrance examination in Jiangnan province, there is a rule that there can only be one champion in the college entrance examination every year. I don't remember it. Quote. Zhang Wanqing thought for a while and nodded lightly. After all, in everyone's perception, the college entrance examination is full of competition. Everyone wants to be the final champion of the college entrance examination. There has never even been a situation where the scores are the same, and the score gap in the leaderboard will only expand infinitely. Only, when Zhang Wanqing thought of this, she instantly understood what Lu Chengqing was thinking, and said with a slight twitch of the corner of her mouth, you don't mean to. That's right. With a bright smile on Lu Chengqing's face, he nodded and continued, if we all have the same points. As long as you have enough points and are far ahead of the second place, the number of top students in the college entrance examination can also be controlled. Zhang Wanqing looked at Lu Chengqing in the eyes after hearing this plan that opened up the brain and exploited loopholes in the rules. It's almost like seeing a ghost. Good guy. This is definitely a road that has never been imagined. In the case of the same points of candidates, they are all tied for first place. No one has ever done it before. The main reason is competition, and no one can directly increase the points to 46,000 like Lu Chengqing. Directly exploited the loopholes in the rules. Thinking of this, Zhang Wanqing took a deep breath to calm down her excited mood, and asked, "What do we need to pay?" "There is no such thing as a free lunch. Not to mention, it is impossible to help them become this year's top scorer in the Jiangnan Provincial College entrance examination without any price." Simple. Lu Chengqing's face was calm, and he said bluntly, "I want 70% of the resource rewards given by the top scorer in the college entrance examination and the vocational college. It's best, just follow me into Jiangnan Provincial Vocational College. Is there any objection?" Zhang Wanqing shook her head lightly. It was originally a resource picked up for nothing, and after getting to know Lu Chengqing, her peaceful life seems to be breaking down gradually. Quote. Lu Chengqing immediately cast his eyes on Lin Qianqin, and continued, "Qianqin, your score of 46 is enough for us." Quote. Lin Qianqin blinked her playful eyelashes, with a slightly puzzled expression on her face, as she imagined something indescribable. The blush quickly spread to the base of the ears, and there was no objection. The little head nodded like garlic. "She has no feelings for herself. However, if the person who will accompany me in the future is Lu Chengqing, it seems that it is not impossible." Quote. Zhang Wanqing glanced at her best friend, and the corner of her mouth twitched slightly, probably able to understand what Lin Qianqin was thinking of. And, with Lin Qianqin's naive character, if she was sold by Lu Chengqing one day, she would probably smile and count the money for this guy. After calming down a little, she continued to ask, "What if the points can't be shared equally among the three of us?" Quote. Lu Chengqing didn't answer directly, but after seeing the familiar figure in front of him, he smiled again. "Isn't there a way?" After being robbed of points by Lu Chengqing, Wang Wei did not give up directly, but redoubled his efforts to hunt the beasts. Finally this morning, after accumulating more than 1,300 points and reaching the qualification line of Jiangnan Vocational College, he unexpectedly encountered his deadly opponent. In school itself, Wang Wei and this guy did not get along. Although there was no fight, quarrels were inevitable. Then, there was a young girl with blonde hair and long ears in a cloak who stopped her directly. Even now, he still couldn't forget the angry expression on the blonde girl's face, asking himself directly if she was Wang Wei from Zhongcheng No. 1 Middle School. Then, the arch-enemy answered first, and the next plot was obvious. The blonde girl showed her crushing strength. It didn't eliminate Wang Wei directly, but beat him severely and took away all the points. Also leave the next sentence. "If you want to blame it, blame that friend of yours and take away my points. Anyway, he has a lot of points, so go find that person." Quote. Wang Wei wanted to cry so much, he was beaten up by the blonde girl before he even figured out what was going on. Then all the points were taken away. The problem is, with the strength of the blonde girl, none of his friends can beat her. So wrong QAQ. There must be no chance for the college entrance examination this time. After spending so much resources, I finally got 0 points in the exam. Wang Wei didn't even know how to face his parents, probably mixed doubles would be indispensable. Just thinking about it, Wang Wei's bruised and swollen face was full of despair. He lowered his head and held his spear, and walked towards the exit of the dungeon in a daze. Only, the extremely familiar voice appeared again, and he looked up, and it was the extremely familiar figure. Lu Chengqing. Still with that iconic smile, he joked, "Student Wang Wei, how are you doing in these 3 days?" Quote. Wang Wei didn't cry when he was robbed by Lu Chengqing, and he didn't cry when he was beaten by that nervous blonde girl. But, when he saw the smile on Lu Chengqing's face, the aggrieved emotion in his heart couldn't hold back anymore. Completely break the defense. He sat slumped on the ground, tears rolled down his bruised and swollen face, and said in a trembling voice, "Really? I really don't have a drop." Chapter 28. Lu Chengqing glanced at Wang Wei, who was sitting slumped on the ground, completely mentally broken, and the corners of his mouth could not help but twitch slightly. Why didn't he just say something? Didn't even say what he was doing. Why did this guy suddenly break his defense? From Wang Wei's bruised nose and swollen face, Lu Chengqing can roughly guess that this poor child probably was robbed again. It is indeed a bit too much to borrow a little more points. Lin Qianqin didn't know Wang Wei. She just stood beside Lu Chengqing. Her cute face was full of doubts. "Classmate Lu, Is he trying to kill someone? Quote. Zhang Wanqing had a strange expression on her face, and she couldn't bear to look directly at her. She didn't have any friendship with Wang Wei. On the contrary, it is Wang Wei's parents, who are somewhat related to her father. After all, the Wang family's Yida real estate give Zhang Cheng a lot of help economically. The parents of both parties are also on good terms. Zhang Wanqing did not expect that Wang Wei would be in the college entrance examination, and his mind would explode. She frowned, her tone was a little helpless, and she asked, "What happened?" Quote. Wang Wei raised his head and glanced at Zhang Wanqing's familiar face, and completely opened up the chatterbox that had been accumulated in his heart for a long time. He said with a choked voice, "It's hard for me to save enough points for Jiangnan Provincial Vocational College this morning. Then, there was a blonde elf in a cloak who asked my name and beat me up. Still stealing all the points. The key point is that she also said that my friend stole her points, and told me to go directly to that friend. That goddamned blonde elf just wanted to rob me. Why would I have such a good friend?" When complaining about the encounter, Wang Wei's gradually out of control emotional management gradually returned to a normal state. It means waiting for the end of the college entrance examination. More and more obvious. Anyway, there is no chance now, and I can't even pass the vocational college entrance examination, and I don't care about the impression of Lu Chengqing, Zhang Wanqing and others. Quote. Lu Chengqing's face was indifferent, but there was something strange in the way he looked at Wang Wei, as if, "Cloak, blonde girl, it should be that guy Song Xiu," but what he didn't expect was that the unlucky Wang Wei actually met her. There should be a chance. Zhang Wanqing twitched the corner of her mouth lightly. As far as Wang Wei's treatment was concerned, it was somewhat outrageous for the combat profession of spearmen. As long as they perform normally, basically those vocational colleges ranked in the top 10 must be able to pass the passing line. Then, just encountered this unreasonable disaster, when she glanced at Lu Chengqing and saw the strange look in her eyes. There is always a guess in my heart that the matter of Wang Wei being robbed by someone has something to do with this guy, right? Cough. Lu Chengqing coughed lightly, with a calm expression on his face, and calmly showed the scoreboard. First place. Lu Chengqing points, 46,530. Second place. Song Xiu points, 6,197. With this huge amount of points, he, Lin Qianchen, and Zhang Wanqing can be locked in the number 1 spot. That extra points. There shouldn't be any problem with Wang Wei's ability to be admitted to those vocational colleges, and that's just enough to get the extra points. Sell it to this hapless bastard. Quote. Wang Wei glanced at the standings leaderboard, envy was revealed in his eyes, and he didn't have any superfluous thoughts. So envious. However, with Lu Chengqing's strength, it is also a very reasonable thing, but I don't understand why I want to let myself look at the standings. Never possible. He wanted to help himself or something. Wang Wei quickly dispelled this idea, because there was some conflict between the two of them. Only, what Lu Chengqing said next caught him off guard. It seemed illogical, but the amount of information was full. Quote. Lu Chengqing's face was calm, and he said, "The reward for the top scorer in the college entrance examination should be enough to buy a villa in Yuzhongyuan, right?" Enough. Wang Wei nodded lightly without hesitation. Yuzhongyuan was originally a real estate developed by their family, and the price was clear. Only, he quickly understood the hidden meaning, and quickly said, "If you need anything, Lu, I will help you get in touch." But the problem is, Lu Chengqing's face was a bit regretful, and he pointed out, "But after the college entrance examination, I will go to Jiangnan Provincial Vocational College to study." Quote. Wang Wei opened his eyes wide and said excitedly, "It turns out that you are going to sell that villa, classmate Lu, and it's on me. The price is 20 million, are you satisfied with this price?" "Can." Lu Chengqing nodded lightly. Sure enough, the rich second generation in the novel are all liars, at least they have a good understanding. Gently patted Wang Wei on the shoulder, transferred 15-30 points to him, and did not forget to encourage, "I am optimistic about you." Quote. Wang Wei felt warm in his heart, but what he didn't expect was that in this situation, Lu Chengqing actually helped him regardless of the past. Moment. Then I thought of that sentence, "If you treat me as a national scholar, you must repay me with a national scholar, and the national scholar himself is definitely not worthy. But he has the money. Wang Wei looked at Lu Chengqing with a calm face, and with the idea of building a good relationship, he gritted his teeth and said, "Actually, I think the price of that villa is 25 million is more appropriate. Look at you." Lu Chengqing nodded lightly, with a disapproving expression on his face, although this matter is not very honorable, repaying debts or something. Do you really think Zhang Wanqing is just a display? After watching Wang Wei leave the copy of the college entrance examination, he immediately turned his attention to Lin Qianqin and Zhang Wanqing. After Lin Qianqin heard this nonsensical conversation, she was obviously a little confused and blinked her bright eyes. "Classmate Lu, I haven't even bought a villa yet, so why does this classmate Wang Wei want to help classmate Lu sell the villa?" "As expected of you, classmate Lu." Zhang Wanqing's expression was rather strange. She seemed to have said nothing, but in the short conversation between the two, it seems that everything has been said. It is estimated that behind the robbing of Wang Wei's points, there is also Lu Chengqing's operation, which is really a hole dug. Not only did Wang Wei jump in out of nowhere, but when he came out, he had to thank Lu Chengqing, the digger. It's outrageous. Lu Chengqing looked disapproving, and didn't take this matter to heart. He glanced at the leaderboard with no change in points. He said, "After everything is dealt with, the points ranking will not change much, and it is almost time to go out." Chapter 29. Lu Chengqing transferred the points directly, and Lin Qianqin and Zhang Wanqing had the remaining 45,000 points. Instantly decreased. There are only 15,000 left, but even so, his ranking is still firmly in the first place, followed by Song Xiu in the second place. There is still a gap of more than 9,000 points. Not only that, Lin Qianqin and Zhang Wanqing, whose points were cleared to 0, fell to the bottom of the leaderboard. After receiving the points from Lu Chengqing, the ranking soared directly. With the same points, they tied for the first place. First place, Lu Chengqing, points, 15,000. First place, Lin Qianqin, points, 15,000. First place, Zhang Wanqing, several points, 15,000. Second place, Song Xiu, points, 6,197. It's over. Lu Chengqing glanced at the final points leaderboard, and there was nothing unusual, and they were also tied for first place in points. As long as the college entrance examination is over and 3 champions appear in Jiangnan province at the same time, what kind of sensation will it cause? This is not something he should consider. After all, Chen Qingliu, the vice president of Jiangnan Provincial Vocational College, has already promised, as long as he is the number 1 in the college entrance examination, the rewards that should be taken will definitely not be missing. If there is a question, that is the aspect of the final score of the college entrance examination. It is not stated in the rules that several champions cannot appear at the same time. There is also no express statement that points cannot be transferred. No, that means it works. The loopholes in the college entrance examination rules resulted in 3 champions appearing at the same time. It is impossible for everyone to re-evaluate, right? Zhang Wanqing looked at the position of the leaderboard with a strange expression on his face, but at the same time, there was always an unrealistic feeling. How could he become the number 1 student in the college entrance examination in Jiangnan province? Why did Lu Chengqing bring herself? Zhang Wanqing could think of the key points after a little thought. Identity. If there is any objection to the final college entrance examination results, my father will definitely help and deal with them, and will not invalidate the final results. Like, on this thief ship of Lu Chengqing. Student Lu, we are tied for first place. Lin Qianqin didn't think too much about it. Her cute and pretty face was so excited that she almost wrote her happiness on her forehead. Although, the way to get the first place in the college entrance examination that I have been thinking about so much is a little outrageous, but overall, it's pretty good, right? Lu Chengqing's face was calm. The copy of the college entrance examination will be closed on time at 12 o'clock noon, leaving time for others. Only half an hour. Even Song Xiu, who was in second place, wanted to increase his points to 15,000 in just half an hour. It's simply not possible. Judging from the time when Wang Wei left, that guy is probably still in the copy of the college entrance examination and will continue to stay here. Maybe we will meet Song Xiu again. Then this situation, is somewhat embarrassing. After Lu Changqing thought of this scene, without the slightest hesitation, he decisively walked into the portal at the exit of the dungeon. Let's go. Lin Qianqin was quite happy to keep up with the pace. There shouldn't be any problem with the number 1 in the college entrance examination. As for resource allocation, there will be no comments. It's just that I'm a little confused. Why does Lu student want them to apply for the Jiangnan Provincial Vocational College? Quote. Zhang Wanqing's face was full of helplessness. She stared blankly at the backs of the two of them leaving, feeling rather complicated. Could it be, this guy doesn't worry? Does he go hunting and killing strange beasts or something, or is this called trust? She shook her head slightly, and followed decisively. Apart from her girlfriend Lin Qianqin, Zhang Wanqing didn't have many friends, but it was an accident that day. Life after Lu Changqing's break-in has become more colorful. Only, after Lu Changqing, Lin Qianqin and others left the dungeon, there was a blonde girl in a cloak in the twisted forest. Can't help but clenched his fists. Song Xiu frowned and whispered, Lu Changqing, no matter what, I will find you. Outside the portal of Zhongcheng No. 1 Middle School, only half an hour before the end of the college entrance examination, there are not only Zhang Tianqi and Chen Qingliu. There are also many admissions teachers from vocational colleges gathered here at this time, waiting for the end of the college entrance examination. The college entrance examination points can only be viewed by the candidates in the copy, and they want to view the final results. Can only wait for the replica to close. Zhang Tianqi's serious and rigid face was quite nervous at this moment, looking forward to the final results of the college entrance examination. On the contrary, it was Chen Qingliu, the one with the most indifferent face. He had watched Lu Changqing's battle scene on the day of the college entrance examination. Did not use any abilities. Relying entirely on his own strength, he killed several strange beasts in a row, plus the means enough to kill a silver-level boss. Even if there is no hope for the top scorer in the college entrance examination, and he is definitely a candidate at the top of the ranking list. The key point is that this kid still has his appetite. Being able to recruit him into the Jiangnan Provincial Vocational College is also considered a gain. Along with the spatial ripples of the portal, it instantly attracted everyone's attention, and another candidate was about to come out. Even Zhang Tianqi, who had a serious face, clenched his fists at this moment, probably because he was about to meet his daughter. Not unexpected. The first to walk out of the portal was Lu Changqing with a calm face holding a knife, followed by Lin Qianqin and Zhang Wanqing. Uncle Zhang, Dean Chen, you are all here. Lu Changqing smiled calmly, and was not particularly surprised by the appearance of those familiar figures. On the contrary, it is a matter of reason. Zhang Tianqi nodded slightly, a little surprised by Lu Changqing's title, but he didn't take it to heart. Still quite polite, Chen Qingliu's calm expression instantly became enthusiastic, and he grabbed Lu Changqing's hand and asked, how is it? Did the college entrance examination go well this time? Lu Changqing nodded slightly. The smile on his face was as sunny as that of the boy next door, and he didn't answer directly. He just asked, Dean Chen, the things we agreed on last time should still count. After hearing these words, Chen Qingliu understood the hidden meaning of these words, not to mention how excited the smile on his face was. Lu Changqing's top scorer in the college entrance examination. Steady. As for the Jiangnan Vocational College, it will be the first time in 3 years that there will be a champion again, and he is already very happy. Chen Qingliu hurriedly said. That's for sure. Chen Qingliu, speak naturally, as long as you are the number 1 student in the college entrance examination. Join our Jiangnan Provincial Vocational College, and you will have the highest resource subsidy. Lu Changqing glanced at the others calmly. So many people have heard it, so it's impossible to renege on it now, right? He nodded slightly. He didn't leave Zhongcheng No. 1 Middle School directly, but waited for the closing of the copy of the college entrance examination, and the final list was revealed. The waiting time is not long. After all the candidates in the dungeon have left, this year's Jiangnan Provincial College entrance examination will soon come to the settlement interface. After Chen Qingliu learned the final result from Lu Changqing, his old face was quite ruddy, and he was indescribably high-spirited. Glancing at Lu, who had a strange smile on his face, he didn't realize the seriousness of the matter, but was rather relieved. I patted Lu Chengqing on the shoulder. He is indeed a good student. Only, when the college entrance examination results were announced, Chen Qingliu was dumbfounded when he saw the Jiangnan Province college entrance examination scores. Quote. This is impossible. Chapter 30. After the copy of the college entrance examination was closed, the portal that was built did not disappear, but instead showed a blue light curtain. SAT score. Statistics are over. However, Zhang Tianqi, Chen Qingliu, and the admissions teachers of those colleges present were all dumbfounded. First place. Lu Chengqing, points, 15,000. First place. Lin Qianchen, points, 15,000. First place. Zhang Wanqing, several points, 15,000. Second place. Song Xiu, points, 6,197. And in the college entrance examination rankings, the number of manners that ranked first alone was absurdly 3. The points are exactly the same. Both have 15,000 points. In the previous Jiangnan Provincial College entrance examination, this kind of coincidence has never happened before. After all, the existence of the college entrance examination points list is to allow candidates to compete with each other, so as to compete for the champion with the strongest overall strength. Not to mention Jiangnan Province, even the college entrance examinations in all provinces of Long Kingdom have never seen such a situation. The top scorer in the college entrance examination appeared, and 3 appeared at the same time. Damn it, it's really fake. Why there are 3 first places, doesn't that mean? Are they all the top students in the college entrance examination in Jiangnan Province this year? It seems, it is allowed in theory. In the college entrance examination rules specified at the beginning, there is no requirement that there can only be 1. Coincidence. Zhang Tianqi twitched the corner of his mouth lightly. Instead of participating in the discussions among the admissions teachers, he turned his attention to his daughter. His face was a little unnatural, and even his eyes were dodging. Just seeing this, he had an idea in his heart that Zhang Tianqi definitely knew Wanqing's strength best. For the final score, there should be around 5,000, and they will definitely not be able to sit in the first place and become the number 1 in the Jiangnan Provincial College entrance examination. Quote. Zhang Tianqi glanced at Lu Chengqing, and after seeing his indifferent appearance, he quickly had a guess in his heart. Is this kid's handwriting again? 3 champions in the college entrance examination. Chen Qingliu opened his eyes wide, looking at the college entrance examination scoreboard in disbelief. It wasn't old eyesight. But, this year's Jiangnan Province's college entrance examination champions, there are actually 3 people, and the test scores are exactly the same. He has been the principal for so many years, and he has never seen such a thing. If you say this thing is a coincidence, absolutely impossible, or is the score on the college entrance examination standings list tricky? Chen Qingliu thought of this, and immediately cast his eyes on Lu Chengqing, still with that indifferent smile with the overall situation in mind. As if, I vividly remember the scene when I recruited Lu Chengqing and gave him many conditions to win the first prize in the college entrance examination. Able to take the position of vice principal. Chen Qingliu was not stupid. He understood the meaning of that conversation in an instant, and he could obviously ask for more. Lu Chengqing did not. Instead, he asked himself, as long as he was the top scorer in the college entrance examination, he would have this kind of reward, but he didn't get the meaning of it at the time. It turns out that this kid, after knowing the identity of the vice president, he began to dig holes for himself, compared to the additional resources provided by individuals. No wonder Lu Chengqing dismissed it at the time, feeling that he wanted to pass the college entrance examination, which can only be taken once per person. Earn big money. As for how Lu Chengqing did it, Chen Qingliu is not clear, but he also realizes that after the college entrance examination, it is estimated that he will bleed profusely. Thinking of this, Chen Qingliu's face was quite strange, even with a bit of resentment. The key point was this pitfall. I am still willing to jump down. Quote. After a moment of silence, Chen Qingliu patted Lu Chengqing's shoulder vigorously, and said with emotion, "Student Lu, you're such a genius." Quote. With a disapproving smile on Lu Chengqing's face, he quickly shook his head and said, "I don't dare to take responsibility for this. I can only say that I just do what I like." Dean Chen, you like the _1 scholar in the college entrance examination, and you don't want to join Jiangnan Provincial Vocational College without the _1 student. Quote. The expression on Chen Qingliu's face was stiff, and his whole body was buzzing. Good guy, he was manipulated by the students. Glancing at the admissions teachers who were ready to move, as long as I refuse, I'm afraid they will just snatch you away. Although, this method of manipulating the top scorer in the college entrance examination is a bit difficult to describe, but Lu Chengqing was able to get 45,000 points. Just prove your own strength. As well as, that was far more courageous than the other candidates. If there was an accident, wouldn't he be afraid of securing the top spot? Got hacked by someone else. Thinking of this, Chen Qingliu shook his head lightly. In a certain sense, Lu Chengqing is definitely a genius. And it is very different from those geniuses who have been tempered step by step, at least this big heart. It's something no one else has. Who the hell would have thought that this guy could find another way to find blind spots in the extremely competitive college entrance examination? Direct batch production champion. It's outrageous. Although Chen Qingliu was tricked, he still had some guts. He shook his head with a smile and promised. I promise you, it won't be bad at all. After you join our school, Mr. Liu, you must show me some face. Then I will thank Principal Chen first. Lu Chengqing nodded with a smile. After getting the final answer, he is not allowed to stay here any longer. It should be fought for. After winning all of them, the next step is to wait for the reward of the top scorer in the college entrance examination. Watching Lu Chengqing leave, Chen Qingliu unconsciously put on a smile on his rather helpless old face. This kid, it's still pretty good, if a bit out of character. He immediately set his sights on Zhang Tianqi. There was a name in the top scorer of the college entrance examination, and Chen Qingliu was very familiar with it. She is the daughter of Zhang Tianqi. Chen Qingliu coughed lightly, and said calmly, Master Zhang, can you watch the video in the copy of the college entrance examination? Even if he has accepted this reality, but he still can't figure out how Lu Chengqing managed it. Quote. Zhang Tianqi's rare eyes were a little guilty, and as for Lu Chengqing's rare phrase, Zhang uncle, he understood it instantly. This kid is going to let himself take the blame. The key point is that my precious daughter was dragged into a thief boat by Lu Chengqing. This is really yellow mud falling into the crotch. It's hard to tell. No, I still have to keep my daughter away from this guy in the future, in case Lu Chengqing sells her. Wanqing probably doesn't even know. Zhang Tianqi nodded quickly, and said, no problem, let's go to the dungeon monitoring room at the school. Please like and subscribe.